Every time he flies, he brings a roll of tape. Once the plane stabilizes, he heads to the restroom and skillfully disables the smoke detector, lighters, and his handgun. He sneaks all these prohibited items on board because he's an air marshal. But today, a challenge that could cost 150 lives is about to begin. Back in his seat, he gets a strange message on the internal network. Ready to do your duty, Air Marshal? The sender knows his identity and the tone is taunting. Bill asks who it is. The reply comes, "I'm your passenger." Bill instantly senses danger. But in a plane full of passengers, he can't find the culprit. The sender even warns him. Smoking in the restroom is illegal. Someone who knows his every move. He scans the nearby sleeping passengers and the awake first-class travelers. Nothing seems suspicious. He is in plain sight, while the sender hides in the shadows. Soon, another message arrives. Set a 20-minute timer, or a passenger dies. They demand $150 million and provide an account. Bill feels real danger for the first time. A nearby woman wakes, noticing his strange behavior. The threat comes again. Confirm the transfer in 20 minutes, or someone dies. With no choice, Bill sets the timer. Then he heads to economy, throws his partner a look, and the partner instantly understands. When he steps into the galley, Bill suspects his partner is pranking him. But the partner looks confused, and even lets Bill check his phone. Once he confirms it's not a joke, Bill realizes how serious this really is. By protocol, the plane should land right away, but his partner tells him to keep quiet for now. Bill ignores the advice and walks into the cockpit with a flight attendant. The captain wants to know how he confirms the threat, but Bill can't prove a thing. The security agency replies, "It'll take at least half an hour to check all the passengers. And the nearest airport? They already flew past it an hour and a half ago." The flight attendant trembles as she serves tea to the passenger. She senses something is off, but still doesn't know the full truth. It's Bill's call whether to change course, but he worries it's just a prank, and an emergency landing would cost too much. So he tells the captain to stay in touch with the security agency, track the account and passenger list, and in 10 minutes, cut the Wi-Fi so the sender can't confirm the transfer. Bill then heads to the monitoring room with the flight attendant, but 2 pairs of eyes aren't enough. She wants to get other crew members, but Bill stops her. He doesn't know them. His gaze falls on a passenger in the same row, the woman he saw at the gate and assumed was just an ordinary traveler with a seat mix-up.
"Excuse me, will you come with me, please?"
Bill tells them to mark every passenger holding a phone, and he keeps sending messages to test the response. But turbulence shakes the plane, making the search even harder. Then, a call comes in from the TSA, and Bill starts to notice. His partner's moves line up exactly with the timing of the messages. At first, Bill doesn't want to believe it, but his partner's odd behavior raises suspicion. He follows him into the economy restroom, and the partner finally cracks. He admits he wants the money, even offers to split it with Bill. When pressed, he refuses to hand over his phone, and the two get into a fight.
Stop it!
Bill is forced to kill his partner, but then he realizes he's walked right into a trap. The message had already come in before the fight, and his partner never pulled out a phone. That means someone else is behind it. The countdown hits 0, and a passenger really ends up dead, killed by Bill himself. He grabs his partner's phone, locks the restroom door. On the way, his own phone rings again. The voice mocks him. "Sorry you had to do it. Pay up if you want to stop it. Who knows who will be the next to die at your hands." The captain shuts down the network as planned. Bill goes to him to restore it, but after sending the flight attendant away, the captain reveals the truth. The security bureau traced the account. It's under your name. Bill falls into a carefully planned trap, and it's clear the other side is way ahead. The captain asks if anything is wrong, but Bill hides the truth. The captain thinks it's just a prank. For safety, he follows the security bureau agent's orders and takes Bill's sidearm and badge. The only clue left is the phone that got soaked. Jen, eavesdropping, asks if the person who stood up earlier is the mysterious figure. Bill lies, saying his phone got soaked, and tells her to return to her seat. He checks his partner's phone and finds chats with the mysterious figure. Turns out his partner is being blackmailed over smuggling and forced to cooperate. That sudden get-up? The mysterious figure sent him to the rear cabin, mistaken by Bill as suspicious. In the end, the partner tries to kill to cover his tracks, but Bill takes him out first. Taking his partner's badge, Bill finally realizes it was all part of a carefully planned trap. Bill decides to come clean to Nancy, but he scares her nearly into reporting him. He stops her, explains it's the mysterious figure's trap, and asks for her help. "Someone dies in 13 minutes unless I find him." With Nancy's help, Bill sweeps the whole cabin, putting Jen on first-class watch. In economy, he spots a Middle Eastern doctor, a lawyer flying to England, a police officer heading to a wedding in London, and a man who spoke to him before boarding. The last man claims the plane's final stop is Amsterdam, but it's actually London. Bill singles him out as the main suspect and brings him to the galley. At the same time, the phone rings. It's the agency. Bill asks them to check the man's info, but they confirm he's a completely innocent teacher. Bill doesn't believe it and hangs up, pressing the teacher for answers. The teacher admits that before boarding, someone gave him $100 to talk to Bill, but then that person disappeared. Bill forces him to point out the culprit. The teacher accidentally bumps into the lawyer while pointing, but denies it when he gets closer. Bill has no choice but to take him to the rear cabin and tie him up with tape. As the countdown ticks closer, Bill stays on high alert, watching the cabin, ready to shoot at the first sign of trouble. Then his phone buzzes with a message. I never said the next victim had to be a passenger. A passenger hits the call button, and Nancy turns. Bill realizes the crew is in danger too. The plane suddenly drops, and they hit the ceiling. Once it steadies, they rush to the cockpit and find the captain clutching his chest. Bill looks for a doctor, while a passenger, who's a cop, asks what's happening. On the ground, he's a cop, but on this plane, Bill is in charge. He returns to the cockpit. The captain is dead. The mysterious figure mocks. Everyone dies. Only us two left. Bill resets the countdown, sends the doctor back, handles the captain's body, and checks details with the co-pilot. The co-pilot thinks Bill suspects him, but Bill just wants the truth. He takes back his gun, warns the co-pilot not to open the door until landing, and calls the agency. Bill reports everything. Nancy's conversation with the co-pilot makes Bill start questioning his trust in her. He tells the agency to transfer $150 million. He can be arrested or the account frozen once the plane lands. But they refuse. Back in first class, a black phone designer sits in his seat. Jen can never find her muted phone, but he can make a muted phone ring. All they need is to send a virus-laced MMS. Bill asks him to send it, but it takes 30 minutes. They only have 8. Bill clears first class and moves everyone to economy. Passengers complain, so he promises a year of free international travel to calm them. The plane suddenly turns around. Bill asks the co-pilot why. He says he got orders, can't talk to Bill, and cuts the network. Bill begs for 5 more minutes. Co-pilot agrees. The virus MMS is ready. The cop and a few passengers question Bill controlling the plane. Nancy tells them to take their seats. Bill goes to economy, makes everyone raise their hands, hits send, and waits tense. He asks the lawyer for his phone. The lawyer says he's never seen it. Bill drags him to the galley, ties him up, and presses a gun to his neck. Why me? Suddenly, he collapses like the captain. The doctor arrives, but it's too late. The cop finds out the captain's dead and suspects a hijacking. Bill grabs a bottle in the bathroom. He wants a drink, but holds back. Smoke from the flight path catches his eye. He opens the lid, and smoke curls through a small hole, right toward the captain's seat. In the trash, he finds the poisoning tool, a blowpipe made from 2 pens, and discovers a needle on the dead lawyer. Bill questions an old man who used the bathroom before the captain went down. He learns Jen was eavesdropping there. He finds Jen and asks why she sits next to him. Why by the window? She says life's uncertain, and she just wants to see outside, in case it's her last view. Bill pours her a strong drink, and they rebuild trust. Outside the galley, passengers see the news. Bill's called a rogue hijacker. Jen tries to help but triggers the mysterious program. Bill's phone sends a fake message. I'm Bill, no choice. Countdown starts. He realizes the bomb's live and tells Jen to check the bags. Bill contacts the agency again, orders a drop to 2,400 meters, warns about a bomb. Agent refuses.
He became withdrawn. Got divorced. IRA for all we know.
Thank you.
Confusion spreads. The air marshal's waiver makes Bill remember the drug package. Bombs hidden inside. Leaving the bathroom,
Wait!
the cop restrains him. Bill warns about the timed bomb, but the cop doesn't believe him. At that moment, the teacher points a gun at them and asks if there's a bomb on the plane. Bill nods. Reveals the mysterious person controls everything. Confesses he's an alcoholic. Daughter had leukemia. He's saving the plane, not hijacking. Bill takes back control. Luggage to the rear. Women and kids up front. Bags absorb the blast. Dropping to 2,400 meters balances pressure. Prevents plane from breaking apart. He hands the cop a gun, hoping the officer will help him. Jen suggests trying a transfer, but Bill knows the mysterious person's goal isn't money. It's a disaster witnessed worldwide. Fighter jets escort the plane, and the co-pilot keeps the altitude as instructed. Bill orders a drop to 2,400 meters. The co-pilot knows it's part of a bomb plan. He reluctantly agrees, but says it'll take 10 minutes. Lowering now will stall the plane. Bill checks the bomb and finds it's a highly professional military-grade device. Any attempt to disarm or toss it will trigger an explosion. Passengers hope to catch the mysterious figure, but Bill knows he has no intention of getting off the plane alive. He sets the bomb by the emergency exit, cushions the blast with luggage, and directs it outward. At 2,400 meters, the pressure helps stabilize the landing. The mysterious person's motive stays a mystery. Passengers brace, waiting for the co-pilot to descend in 3 minutes. A scared little girl hides in a cabinet. Bill ties his daughter's ribbon on her wrist, her last gift.
You bribing me?
Yes, I am.
And hands her to Jen. The girl wants the window seat. Jen doesn't hesitate to give it up. 4 minutes left on the countdown. The co-pilot calls for the descent. Everyone returns to their seats. The agency calls to confirm $150 million has been transferred, but Bill knows it's no longer about money. A broadcast announces the transfer.
$150 million was transferred to account CH 1,23000A10982.
The agency orders him to stand down, but Bill insists on descending to 2,400 meters. They refuse, threatening to shoot down the plane. Bill angrily warns the black box will reveal the truth. Yet the agency still calls him the hijacker and says the videos posted online were sent by Bill's hostages. Bill takes the young man's phone and finds a key clue in the uploaded video, confirming when the lawyer was framed. The teacher, now exposed, grabs the cop as hostage. Luckily, the gun has no bullets.
Ready, drop! Overhead bin!
Bill sends the cop to first class. It turns out the phone engineer has taken the magazine. A gunshot distracts Bill. And the teacher seizes the weapon. The truth comes out. The phone engineer and the teacher are partners. They now control the cabin and plan to parachute out before the bomb goes off. The teacher's past is revealed. He's a 9/11 victim's family member who joined the army to fight terrorists. But after years of war, he sees U.S. security as a lie and decides to expose it through action. Bill discovers the payment account is escrowed. Once he dies, the money scatters into hundreds of accounts worldwide. The phone engineer plans to jump once the plane drops to 2,400 meters. Bill turns to mind games, warning him that if the plane descends, the escorting fighters will shoot it down. Unless the bomb is disarmed, everyone dies. But the teacher refuses to back down, leading to a clash between them. Bill secretly wraps the seatbelt around his hand, and Nancy instantly understands. He uses the countdown phone to mess with the phone engineer's mind. When his partner hesitates, the teacher quickly silences him. Hearing the gunshot, the co-pilot knows it's time to descend. The plane drops fast. Pressure tears a bullet hole wide open, and a parachute flies out. In the chaos, the teacher tries to kill Bill, but Nancy disrupts his plan. At 2,400 meters, Bill grabs the gun and kills the mastermind. The surviving phone engineer demands a parachute to escape, but Bill takes him down. Only 6 seconds remain on the bomb. The explosion proves the bomb is real. The co-pilot struggles to keep control as the engines fail and begins dumping fuel. On landing, one side of the fuselage tears open, and the girl is almost sucked out. Bill quickly unbuckles and, with Jen's help, pulls her back. The heart-stopping rescue ends. Exits open. Passengers evacuate in order. The co-pilot is the last to leave. News flips. Bill, once seen as the hijacker, is now a hero. The agent who contacted him calls privately to apologize. As Bill prepares to leave, the cop calls him back. Lucky, he survives. The little girl hugs him and returns the ribbon. Jen finally finds the man who saved everyone. For them, the story is just beginning.